The question is that the bill be now read a second time. Mr. Murali Pillai.
Madam Deputy Speaker, Singapore is well known for its no-nonsense attitude towards crime. All Singaporeans expect that if one were to commit a crime, he or she will have to pay the price, irrespective of one's individual background. The force of deterrence is high because the application of justice is swift and sure. But the arm of the law is also one that reaches beyond the prison sentence. It aims to rehabilitate and welcome ex-prisoners back to society. It is a strong signal that we do not give up on those who have made mistakes. The excellent work that the Singapore Prison Service officers do as captains of lives is perhaps not as well known. In collaboration with its partners, the SPS works to enforce the safe and secure custody of prisoners, deliver evidence-informed rehabilitation programs, and carry out effective community supervision of release offenders. All this is to help prisoners find their way back to society, into families, friendship, and work. A testimony to the good work that SPS does lies with the fact, as said by the Honourable Minister of State just now, the recidivism reported in SPS 2020 annual report stands at 22.1%. And he mentioned that this is half the recidivism that was the case in the early 2000s. This is an all-time low. These hard-earned results are due in part to a number of innovative steps that SPS has implemented over the years to help rehabilitate and reintegrate the ex-offenders into our society. And the Honourable Minister of State has outlined these steps, which were taken over 2 decades in particular. I will not repeat the steps that the Honourable Minister has said, but what is clear is that prison is not mere punishment for wrongdoing. It's also the first step towards education, reconciliation, and the acquisition of requisite skills and knowledge. This is to enable ex-offenders become financially independent and confident of their abilities, and then have fulfilling lives and careers. They will be able to reassume their responsibilities for themselves and their family. They have a chance to leave their checkered past behind, be reintegrated back with their families, societies, and make positive contributions to our country. With our help, they can rebuild their lives, step by courageous step. This is a mission that requires stout-hearted support from everyone. I'm proud of my alma mater, NUS, whose professors interviewed a prison inmate as part of its rigorous admission process and offered him a spot in its law school. Today, that man is a litigation lawyer, and both of us are fellow members of the same profession serving our country. Employers must be open-minded in the same way. The main reason why I suggested in Parliament 2020 that the $1 billion Jobs Growth Initiative, which sought to expand local hiring during the pandemic by providing wage support, be also extended to ex-offenders, was because I was concerned that with the shrinking economy then, employers may not offer our ex-offenders with fair chances of getting good employment. This in turn would have had a major impact on the rehabilitative process for our ex-offenders. The government adopted my suggestion and addressed the issue squarely. Between September 2020 and February 2021, a span of 6 months, almost 800 ex-offenders were employed through the JGI. I'm sure many more ex-offenders would have benefited since then from the JGI, which was recently extended to March 2022. It is for the same reason that I strongly support the Employment Preparation Scheme, which is aimed at improving the employability of our prison inmates. I have studied the details of the scheme as set out in the bill. They are well thought of. Collectively, the measures provide a suite of levers to our SPS officers to ensure inmates stay the course so as to obtain skills and knowledge necessary to get good jobs while they're serving their sentences. It is by no means a simple matter, but the odds are good so long as they put in the effort. I have one question on the workings of the EMPS. May I ask how the EMPS is proposed to be harmonized with existing schemes, which are also targeted at inmates who are viewed to have good prospects for rehabilitation and reintegration back into our society? The schemes I have in mind are the home detention scheme, conditional remission system, and the mandatory aftercare scheme. It seems likely that many inmates in these existing schemes will also want to benefit from the employability feature under the EMPS. Moving on to the other aspects of the bill, I have a short query on Clause 9 of the bill, which proposes to amend the existing Section 50I of the Prisons Act, such that the Commissioner is given 3 weeks instead of the previous 2 weeks to defer the making of the remission order. The Honourable Minister of State took some pains to explain the reasons why this amendment is being proposed. And he made it clear that it's not suggested that the Commissioner would be able to extend the imprisonment term of the inmate beyond what is ordered by the courts. I appreciate that. The point I'm concerned about is slightly different. The way the remission order system works, there is a legitimate expectation on the part of the inmates that they would be released so long as they don't behave badly. So they will get a 2/3, or rather a 1/3 remission of the sentence. Now, given that state of play, the concern I have is whether there could be a possible conflict of interest that may arise when a commissioner extends the period of time to issue the remission order, such that there is, in a sense, a delay. I appreciate that the reason for this is because there is a need to carry out the corporal punishment. Under the Prisons Act, the SPS has the ability to actually forfeit a period of remission of up to 180 days. The Prisons Act also vests with the SPS the power to restore any period of forfeited remission. We could therefore potentially have a situation where the Commissioner is asked to consider deferring the issuance of a remission order because there's insufficient time for the carrying out of corporal punishment on an inmate because of, amongst other reasons, SPS' own decision in relation to the remission period for the inmate. Now, let me disabuse anybody of any notion that I'm concerned about any abuse of power. That's not my point. My point is, structurally, we need to ensure that the Commissioner is not unwittingly put in a position of conflict of interest. So that's my concern. Now, I do appreciate, in a sense, this is an inherited issue because Parliament passed the amendment giving the Commissioner the power to defer issuing the remission order by 14 days in 2014. I looked at the Hansard, I couldn't find a reason. Therefore, I would be indebted to the Honourable Minister of State if he could explain the matter. Sir, please allow me to conclude. In 2014, the Honourable Member, Mr. Christopher D'Souza, on the occasion of the second reading of the Prisons Amendment Bill then, recounted the lyrics of the well-known song, "Tie a Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree," as being the inspiration for the Yellow Ribbon Project. His speech has inspired me to, not to sing the song, but to recount the lyrics of a local song, "I Ain't Giving Up," written by Mr. Stephen Joseph and performed by Mr. Zulkifli Rahman, Mr. Razif Harun, and Mr. Afandi Miskam. They were prison inmates. Talented musicians, they took the opportunity to learn music formally when they were serving sentence and pursued their dreams upon release. The chorus goes like this: "I ain't giving up, up, up. I'm going to find my way. I ain't giving up, 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 no matter what they say. For the love you've given won't need another reason to ride on, fight on, and lead on, hey." Their music is their story, and the stories and hopes of many more. I have a suggestion for the Honourable Minister for Defence. Please allow our talented ex-offenders to perform at NDP 2022. I know they will give any professional musician a run for their money. I also know that they will make Singaporeans rise to their feet. Most importantly, this will be our nation's signal to our prison inmates who have served their time, that as a community, we will do what it takes to support them in their rehabilitation and reintegration journey. So long as they don't give up. We too do not give up. We too will help each other to find our way back. I support the bill.